It will teach you how to optimize energy, how to get pain-free, how to clear old emotional traumas, and how to effectively treat chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. First of all, the American diet. Over 50% of the vitamins and minerals are lost in food processing. And that's why for the first time in human history, people are being obese and malnourished for the first time at the same time.
Hey, Rob Renee from the I Am Painfree podcast. Welcome back. We have a guest we've had on before, but the cool thing about this is we're talking about a totally separate subject. Last time we talked about pain, but today we're talking about energy and fatigue, something that is dramatically affecting the world today. And Dr. Teitelbaum is incredible, and he has a great experience, has written books, and has literally 50 years of practical experience helping people a lot with medication, but most of it's with holistic practices. So he's got some incredible ways for you to help you with fatigue and chronic fatigue and even fibromyalgia and just the energy in general. So stick around. You're going to get filled with a lot of great information from Dr. Teitelbaum. Here we go. Hey, welcome back to the I Am Pain-Free podcast. This is your host, Rob Renee, and I have a frequent guest of ours. I've recently interviewed Dr. Teitelbaum with a pain focus in our last discussion. So welcome back, Doc.
Aloha, everybody from the big island of Hawaii. Rob, great to be with you. Yeah. And today, let's teach people how to optimize their energy.
That sounds great. Like we talked about, we are in a huge energy crisis, right, within our society today. And there's lots of reasons why, right? I have my theories, and there's lots of research for reasons why that's happening. But the fun thing is we have multiple ways to help people. And so I think this is going to be an awesome show because we're going to give people real actionable information on fatigue. What is fatigue? And then how do we actually help people who are suffering from that, and even some serious health issues that people have maybe struggled with for a really long time. And the doc has some fantastic protocols and solutions to help you. So this is going to be exciting. So how do you want to start it, Doc? I'll let you go. Why don't we first do a quick introduction of yourself, right? Because people probably don't know you. The people may not have caught in our last conversation. So give us a quick background of who you are and what got you to be this amazing health practitioner that you are.
Well, I'm Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum, and I'm an MD. And people ask, what's a nice doctor like you doing in a field like natural remedy? And I got here the old-fashioned way. I found myself on the other side of the white coat, came down with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia in 1975 after a nasty viral infection. I had to drop out of med school. I was paying my own way, so I couldn't work. I couldn't go to school. I was homeless, sleeping in parks. And it's funny, I was in Tulsa in a park there about a few miles outside of Oral Roberts. And it's as if God put a holistic homeless medical school sign on my park bench. All these different fields I didn't even know about. Herbal medicine, natural medicine, energy medicine, naturopathy. All these different practitioners came by. Sometimes I even had some pizza with them when I was 8. And that and other parts of that journey when I was homeless is where I learned how to recover. I learned the bits and pieces from so many different gifted people. I was able to string them together, got myself well, was able to go back to medical school, and have spent the last 50 years publishing many studies on effective treatment for CFS, fibro, and pain, many medical textbook chapters, countless articles in major national magazines, Dr. Osho, Good Morning America, all that kind of stuff. What I'm getting out, this information, is not profitable, and it doesn't help drug sales.
That's why you'll never hear about it unless they hear from us, right?
If my research had showed an expensive pill, I could buy the island I'm living on, and but it's not. Everything that we're going to talk about today is safe, affordable, effective, and accessible. You can get it. You don't have to twist it. Most of it, you don't have to twist your doctor's arm over. And most of it is natural. Let's talk about why we're seeing a perfect storm for human energy
Yeah. So
crisis,
why
and
is this
then
perfect storm happening, Doc? It's like I have my theory. I'm interested to hear your theory. Your theory is probably a lot more scientific than mine.
it's like the Tale of Two Cities, that old classic. It
Yeah.
started with it was the best of times, it was the worst of times,
There you go.
and that
That's right.
describes modern life. You take a
My
look.
old Styx days. That's not one of the Styx songs that I used to like so much back in my heyday.
Yeah, it, so
Anyway,
what?
showing my age, but
Well, I'm not going to show my age. I'm 31, so
there you
anyway, that's
go.
how old I
Perfect.
feel in Act
There you
7.
go.
But anyway, 31.
I love it.
First of all, the American diet, what I call SAD or Standard American Diet, over 50% of the vitamins and minerals are lost in food processing. All the calories are there. And that's why for the first time in human history, people are being obese and malnourished for the first time at the same time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Magnesium, one critical nutrient in over 300 reactions. An unprocessed diet has about 600 milligrams. The RDA, which is about 245 milligrams, and that's what people get. They get less than half the amount that's in a healthy unprocessed diet. And that follows through for the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin, all of the others. You just see it. Um,
Right.
Virtually everybody is nutritionally deficient in
Yeah,
this
and that's
country.
really strange. Strange. I literally was working with a health practitioner yesterday in Texas, and he had mentioned it's just really frustrating for him because he helps people in dramatic ways, but it's just our diet today, and it's not necessarily, it's even people who are eating healthy, they think, and they're doing the right things, and but guess what, the source of those foods, even though it sounds like they're healthy, are either they're compromised in some way, like our meat is compromised and our foods are compromised. Now 70% of our foods today are ultra processed foods, so those are even worse, right? There's just, they've taken the nutrients that God put on this earth that we need, and it's really hard to get the right nutrients in our bodies today, especially if you just follow the normal fast food diet that many of us, including myself, I'd done for decades. And so now I'm on a total health kick where I'm eating super organic and super healthy, and I'm juicing and I'm getting the right nutrients that my body needs, but it's only because I had a problem, right? I want to help people avoid having that problem. So let's help people understand it. So I don't know about you, Doc, but I'm super excited about the Maha movement, just make America healthy again,
Oh
just because it's
God,
like there's a
I'm like,
light shining on it,
get
right?
Robert Kennedy in there.
Yes, I'm praying for that as well.
He's a good man. He's a good man. You can tell how powerful the good he's going to do is by how the pharmaceutically owned newspapers are attacking him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see. Well, anyway, I don't want to go into that.
No, but you're right. I mean, that
God
is,
bless them all,
it's
and
a conversation,
and
but
not
you're
to.
right. We have a lot to talk about today, so we'll talk about that at maybe another time. But I'm glad that you and I are on the same page from that perspective, just because I really believe that if we can help people understand that our food is compromised and that
Yep,
their body just
yep.
needs proper nutrients, then a lot of their health issues can go away. And obviously, energy, we're going to talk about fatigue and energy is a huge one of those areas that, man, your body
Mm-hmm,
is lacking the right nutrients. It's going to be tired, and you're
mm-hmm.
going to then potentially fall into some of these chronic areas that Doc is going to help you with in addition. So,
Yep.
anyway, great
So
conversation.
eat healthy, common sense. It doesn't have to be super difficult. Eat foods that haven't been processed much. Eat the
Yeah.
foods the way that God gives them to
Whole
us.
foods, right? Like they
Whole
say.
foods that are whole.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do recommend the Energy Revitalization Drink Mix. It's a vitamin
Okay.
powder, one good taste, and that's what I take myself each day. Powerfully supplies the vitamins, minerals, cofactors, almost all of them that you need at optimal levels. Makes it easy. Increase water, decrease
Yes.
salt. We are dehydrated. If you're finding that check your mouth. Is it thirsty? If you're tired, drink 12 ounces of cold water. If you find it goes down really quick, you're dehydrated. And then you find 3 minutes later your energy's better, you're dehydrated. I'm not saying sodas of a 12
Right.
ounce soda has 9 spoons of sugar. No,
Yeah.
you know,
Stop that. Don't do that.
cut out
Yeah.
the sugars. You can have now chocolate in moderation is a healthy food. Coffee, tea, these are healthy foods. And then eat. Most of you will do better with more salt if you're fatigued. Now, again, if
Right.
you have severe high blood pressure, maybe not, but
It's
salt
really
has a
important with
tiny
salt too,
effect.
right?
Well, you want basically the sea salts. You want some a good
Yes.
ground salt, but really, at the end of the day, at least get salt, and then we
Right.
can argue about which forms have the best energy and the best value. But I'm going to say for that, see what feels best to you, and
There
you'll
you go.
know.
Right. And I'm going to say, just from what the research I've done recently, is that the salt, it can really help with all the nutrients that you do need in a day. It gives you lots of them, but you need to find good salt, because there are salts that have minerals and metals and stuff in them that are bad. So
Mhm.
a good Celtic salt, or some salt like that. Even the pink Himalayan salt used to be like the really good in flavor thing to do, but actually, there some of the resources are contaminating even the pink Himalayan salt. So now I'm focusing more on Celtic salt and trying to
Yeah.
recommend that to people. So
Selena makes the Celtic sea salts,
yeah,
and her salts, she's brilliant. She's really sharp-billed.
awesome. Yeah,
So that's a good
I
source
love
for
it.
the Celtic
But
and
yeah, I
the sea
love this,
salts.
because you're right. Hydration is super, super important. Most people are dehydrated, right? And I talk about getting sun too, because getting sun and grounding, those three things are ones that I like to recommend as just something basic, free for anybody. You can go get your feet on the ground and recharge your energy system in your body just by grounding, and then
Mhm.
getting that vitamin D, which is the thing that started me on my health journey. Was I
Mhm.
saw the when COVID hit, the medical cartel was attacking this guy for recommending vitamin D, and I was like, why would they? That's the sun. I know the sun is important. Why
They,
would they be
they
attacking
were
this guy? So
attacking anything cheap to keep
yeah,
safe for the expensive, profitable stuff.
so
Number two, we talked about poor diet, but
yeah.
the low exercise and telling people to avoid sunshine, which is insane.
I know. Exactly. Like,
I,
it's the
I,
opposite of what we want them to do.
yeah, I can picture when I was a kid, my mom took me to the anthropology museum. I was like 7 years old, and there are all these exhibits. And one was a skull with a hole in it. And they said, well, the Aztecs cut out skull holes to let evil spirits out and sick people. And I tugged my mom, just like, Mommy, were they crazy? And she said, yes, dear. And I can see 50 years from now when they have the museums on old medicine and they show doctors on TV saying, smoke these cigarettes, they're best for you. And don't breastfeed and avoid sunshine. And I can see the little kids tugging on their mommies, just saying, Mommy, Mommy, were they crazy? And the mother going, yes, dear.
Yeah, they were crazy. That's right.
And so
That's right.
avoid sunburn, not sunshine.
Yeah,
Lots
there
of
you
walks
go.
in the sunshine. And the other thing
Yeah.
because you hit on my number two thing for the reason for the human energy crisis. Number
Yes.
three, average night's sleep until light bulbs were invented was 9 hours a night.
It's awesome.
We're
Yeah,
now
and
down to
and
the
how many people get that in a night nowadays? I think it's a very small percentage. Don't you think?
average of 6 and 3/4 hour a night. So it's
What?
like a 30% pay cut to our body as far as energy
Wow.
is concerned.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
throw one
huge.
more thing in there for the fourth
Okay.
one, Rob. The stress of modern life. Things are going much faster. It used to be you wanted to send a letter, you gave it to the Pony Express guy or put on a ship, and maybe it would make it and maybe it wouldn't. Now it's hit send and it's back.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
it takes you 2 seconds on your phone, and boom, it's there. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
And the
Very,
media
very
has realized that if they can scare us to death and make us hate everybody, we will stay focused on it and they can sell more advertising and the rest. So
yeah.
I'm going to recommend a simple, powerful move. When you're feeling stressed, you're watching something that's making you grind your teeth. Go, God, please bless me and free me from these evil messaging or from these uncomfortable. Reach over to the side, receive the blessing of God, grab the TV remote and hit off.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's
I don't
fantastic.
care what. If it's leaving you feeling grinding your teeth, why are you watching that stuff? Just turn it
Right.
off.
Man, this is fascinating, because I'm so excited to talk through these areas, because it's really key to and foundational to people's health is
Mhm.
their energy. If they are not feeling well, then they're not going to perform well. And I'm really working hard to be a faith and health warrior for people, and I throw my faith in there just because I want to get people, but I also want to explain to people that when you are well is the only time then you can help people impact their faith. Right? If you are a faith
Mhm.
person, then one of your jobs is to go spread the word and help people with their faith. And so that's what I'm personally trying to do. But I start with health, because if you're sick and on the couch and don't feel well, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to be a productive person in society. You're not going to be a productive person with your family, and you're sure as heck not going to be a productive person in the kingdom. So that's why I'm so passionate about health. As man, that God gave us this incredible body. Let's learn how to utilize it and work with what God put on this earth, so then we can have a long and vital and exciting journey. And energy and fatigue are killing people right now. So let's
And,
fix that. So
and let me make 2 comments on that. Number one, I grew up in a Hasidic community in seminary, and that's my background. And we studied Bible and Talmud all day. And the key teaching was God always created the cure for every illness when the illness was created. The cure was there in nature and there
that's
to
amazing.
heal us.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
going to say
beautiful.
also, nothing that God has sent me in my 72 years on this planet has turned out to be anything but a blessing. My being homeless with a disease, I felt my life was crushed. Everything I had worked for to be a doctor and a healer, gone, turned out to be a blessing because now I can be here teaching you from my own
Yeah,
experience.
yeah. And look at all
Everything.
those lessons you learned from the people that you never even knew existed. You never knew a healer existed. You never knew those other people existed, except for you being homeless and being forced to, the Lord saying, "Hey, I know you want to go into medical school and do this, but it's not time yet. You need to go learn some stuff first."
Huh?
So it's
Yeah, so
amazing
trust.
how he trains you, isn't he?
It's nothing but love, blessings, and angels. I know you're going through a hard time and you may be having some very difficult things, whether it's with chronic pain or fatigue. We will show you how to recover.
All right,
And
let's do it. Let's talk through some of that chronic fatigue things and the ways that we can get people through chronic fatigue and or fibromyalgia. I know those are two huge words, and
yeah.
there's lots of issues and problems that people having around them. So how are we going to help people, Doc?
So chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and now long COVID, these are the tips of the iceberg of the human energy crisis. This is when they're really severe. So this is what we've studied for how to optimize energy for everybody. And these principles also are important for pain management. So if you have chronic pain, you do these things, the pain will go away. A lot of the pain will go away as well. So to remember how to optimize energy, think of the word shine, SHINE. That's your blueprint for recovery. S is sleep, H is hormones and low blood hypotension, I is inflammation, N is nutrition, and E is exercise a little bit as able. And then the other part will be follow your bliss. See what makes your heart sing when you're in prayer and focus on those things.
Beautiful.
Because I'll tell you, whoever's feeding you hate and anger and that, I don't think that's God.
Right.
Feeding you love and who's, like I say, making your heart sing with joy. And that's where I tune my attention to and I follow that. That will
Amen.
also help your energy recover.
Amen. Amen. So let's, if we can, to spend just a few minutes on each letter within Shine, and how can
Yeah.
people utilize
So
that to
S.
help them with their energy?
Exactly. So for most people, it's just a matter of making time for sleep. And the stress has suppressed the sleep center called the hypothalamus, little almond-sized area here that controls sleep. And for fibromyalgia, though, you can't sleep. Sleep center's offline. So it takes more intensive care. My book, From Fatigue's Fantastic, will go through dozens of sleep options. But let me give you 3 key ones that'll get most of you sleeping like kittens. Number one, make the time for sleep. Average night sleep until light bulbs was 9 hours a night. That'll give you, everybody's different. See what feels best to you. Make that time by cutting out things you don't enjoy. Make a list of everything you do under 2 columns, things that feel good, things that feel bad. In the things that feel bad column, put a star by things that if you don't do them, you're going to get arrested or homeless, and withdraw your energy from the rest of it. Don't fight it. Just withdraw your energy. Let them float away. Use that time for sleep. So you'll get your 9 hours time that way. Number two, there's a sustained release melatonin that's excellent. It's called EP120 sustained release. I take that each night, and then there's a mix of 6 herbs called the Revitalizing Sleep Formula. It has things like valerian, passion flower, lemongrass, 5-HTP, theanine. It's awesome. So you combine these two And for most of you, that's all you're going to need. Now, there's plenty more you can do too. The smell of lavender. Get some dried lavender flowers, put them in a vase, or get a by your bedside, or take a drop of lavender oil, put it right under your nose on your upper lip. The smell of lavender will help keep you out at night. If you find that the pain is keeping you falling asleep and you're in the middle of winter time, take a hot Epsom salt bath about an hour before
Mm-hmm.
bedtime. 2 cups, 1 to 2 cups of Epsom salt in a tub of water, hot water. It will relax your muscles, relax your nervous system so you can fall asleep. There's so much you can do for sleep, but those are really good, simple ways to begin.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. So there's sleep with the shine, and then the next one is hormones. H, right? So for
It,
hormones. So what can people do with their hormones to improve that?
Number one, realize that the blood tests are utterly, ridiculously unreliable. Okay, and when the doctor says your test is in the normal range, ask, hey doc, where did that normal range come from? And I'll tell you the
Mm,
real answer because most don't know. They'll think,
right.
well, there's a team of wise elders with big long beards that got together and said if it's in the normal range, then it can't be any problem. No, that's no such thing. What it is they take 100 people that are healthy, they run the test, and the highest and lowest 2%, it's called two standard deviations, are defined as abnormal, 2.5%, and the 95 in the middle is the normal range. So to
Yikes.
put this into English, what's a normal range for shoe sizes? Size 6 to 13.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Rob, you put me in a size 8 shoe, the doctor's going to say that's normal, but my size 12 foot's not going to like it.
Yeah, exactly. That's an awesome analogy. Holy smokes. I've never heard that analogy. That's fantastic. I love that. So that's what the normal range is when you see your blood test. You
It,
think, oh, hey, I'm normal. But in reality, you have no clue if you're normal or not.
and the doctor has no clue either. Let's
Wow.
look at the
Awesome.
three key hormone areas.
Yes.
Thyroid, tired, achy, weight gain, cold intolerant, maybe constipation, unless you have other gut infections, recurrent miscarriages. These are all symptoms of low thyroid. And most people with low thyroid have normal tests. And a little bit of thyroid treatment helps. The multivitamin I mentioned, the energy revitalization drink mix will help the thyroid too. It has the iodine, tyrosine, things that'll help that. And then that's good to see a holistic doctor for who can give you the natural thyroid and get that for you. Number two, adrenal stress handler gland. That's the doctors will not diagnose adrenal fatigue unless it's so severe that it'll kill you. You can be bedridden with a test. Normally, the normal range for the cortisol test is 7 to 24, and you could be at or 6 to 24, and you could be at 6.1 and bedridden, and the doctor will say, nope, you're in the normal range. 5.9, they'll put you in a hospital. 6.1, and I've had times that the lab accidentally ran the test twice on the same tube of blood for 4 people, and usually they're about 4 points apart. One person will be a 7 on one tube of blood and 11 on the same tube of blood, same lab, same person. 6.9, 6.1 is no problem. 5.9, it can kill you. Anyway,
Oh.
how do you tell if you need adrenal support? If you get hangry, irritable when hungry,
The hangry. I know the hangry word.
irritable when hungry. If you're not sure, if you can, just ask your spouse. If you find every so often they go running in the closet to hide or leaving, one, cut down the sugar because that drives it. You're going to sugar crave and then it's going to put you on an emotional roller coaster. But there's a supplement called Adrenaplex, Adrenaplex, mix of I think 7 different natural things that powerfully support the adrenal gland. It'll smooth your energy and your moods out within about a week of starting it. It's quite remarkable. Hangry, do the Adrenaplex. Save yourself a lot of grief. Save your marriage.
Perfect. Perfect. That's an important one.
Mhm.
I
And
like it.
then the female or the menopause or menopause. If you're starting to find around your menses, in your 40s and around your menses, you're starting to get tired, achy, headache, trouble sleeping, brain fog around your menses or ovulation. That suggests low estrogen or progesterone, or getting the progesterone would be anxiety if it's low. You can do simple things like edamame. You can get bioidentical for the estrogen, a handful of edamame each day. You can get natural bioidentical progesterone over the counter. So about 30 milligrams is a good dose for that at bedtime. Will help you sleep too. And then for men, they need to look at the testosterone issues, and that's all that's discussed in the book also. From Petite Fantastic. But the hormones, these are things. The main thing: thyroid, achy, weight gain, cold intolerant, get thyroid support, hangry, get adrenoplex, and increase your salt, cut down sugar.
Perfect. Perfect.
Can,
That's great. So there's that's H. Now the I, the big one. Right. This is the important one, just because there's so much inflammation is the actually source of a lot of disease. Right. Some argue it's source of all disease, but
no,
let's talk about
but inflammation and infection. What you're going to find is that a simple herb mix called curamin, Curamin, is a mix of curcumin and boswellia, help inflammation. Now, for those of you with lung and gut inflammation, the boswellia, and I like Bosmed, 500 milligrams 3 times a day, whatever form you use, and that's a good dosing for what you create. That's the really effective dosing, 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams a day.
Okay.
Very helpful in suppressing, it's called LOX or lipoxygenase, the inflammatory enzyme for the lungs and the gut. So you settle that down. Other inflammation, the curcumin, and that suppresses COX, blah, 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 speaking in tongue here. But you're going to balance inflammation throughout your body, and then get plenty of fish in your diet. I'm not talking about the fried fish from Mickey D's. I'm talking about things like salmon, tuna, herring, sardines, mackerel, oily fish. And that also settles inflammation. Switch from the grain-fed beef to the grass-fed beef. That also is higher in omega-3s and settles inflammation. Cut down white flour, cut down sugar. Simple ways to lower inflammation.
And important ones, because those that inflammation is a really big hurdle. You can get over that hurdle and level it out, and it's going to really help people in a dramatic way. So these are awesome. So then we get into the one that obviously we've talked a lot about already, right? Which was the big N. So talk about the next one.
Nutrition. One, we talked about eating a diet of whole foods. It's common sense. You don't have to. And first, cut out the things you don't enjoy, not the things you do enjoy. If there's something that's, I like hot dogs, because when I was in college, I was paying my own way through hot dogs. Through college, I was keeping kosher, and all I could afford were hot dogs. I had over 2,000 hot dogs in college. When I left college, I couldn't look at a hot dog for 2 years, but now I find I like them. So I'll go to Costco and have my hot dog once in a long while. That's okay. So cut out the things that you don't enjoy first. And if you have a couple of vices, leave those if they're not thanking you.
And you tell me, you're the doctor, but in my opinion, as long as you do those other vices in moderation and occasionally, then it's your bodies can handle that. The problem is most people, it's not, they don't do it on just a small occasion. They do it every day, and then they do too much of that vice.
But I'm going to add a little bit to that, Rob.
Okay.
It's like Mark Twain said, all things in moderation, including moderation.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. So then we're off to the last one, which is, I'm passionate about this one too. This is the big E. So tell us about E.
Absolutely. Let me add a couple other things for energy. Quick. We've done 2 studies on people with the most severe fatigue, lost over 50% of energy. We found that there's a HRG80 red ginseng chewable tablet. I could reach over right here on my table if it was a foot closer. It is amazing. They have capsules and chewables. Get to chewable. 1/2 to 1, and you'll find your energy going to do this. It's healthy energy, so it's HRG80 red ginseng. Another one is called Smart Energy System. It's a mix of ribose and 5 herbs. It's just remarkable. These things increase energy about 60 to 70% on average, and about 2/3 of people who take it. So if you're looking for a simple way, how do I start? I've got fatigue. You get the energy revitalization drink mix, the HRG80 red ginseng, and smart energy system. Clean up your diet, make time for sleep, and do things you enjoy, cut loose the things you don't. And you can do these one at a time, see how they feel. Most of you will find your energy more than doubles, which is pretty cool.
That's
Shall we go to
awesome.
E?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So then we talk about that's from exercise, right? So what do you recommend for people just from an exercise perspective?
Walking in the sunshine, doing things
Yeah,
that feel good. If it doesn't feel good, you're not going to stick with it. And
right.
have a scheduled time and somebody you're going to meet to do it, because otherwise you won't do it. You'll find excuses. Oh, my hair's frizzy today, or some excuse, and you won't do it. But if Susie's meeting you over there at this time, you'll get off your arse and you'll plunk out the door and off we go. Make it enjoyable. Do it with somebody who you enjoy as well. And again, walking in the sunshine is really good, but getting it in the sunshine is good. What I will note though, for those of you with chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, you're familiar with the post-exertional malaise. Your body has enough energy to do a certain amount, and if you go beyond that, you're going to be crashing, burn, and be bedridden the next few days. And that's called PEM, or post-exertional malaise. This overall protocol will help that after about 10 weeks, because then you can condition instead of crashing. But listen to your body. You're not harming yourself with a crash, but it sure is unpleasant. So don't be afraid to do enough to stay conditioned, whatever you can do comfortably, and then that'll be able to increase in about 10 weeks on the protocol.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know that you've written an amazing book about this particular thing, and your email address is obviously very relevant to this discussion. So explain your book real quick to everybody.
From Fatigue to Fantastic is the number one best-selling book of all time. It's now in its fourth or fifth edition, depending on how you're counting. Came out, I think, 1995 for the first one. It will teach you how to optimize energy, how to get pain-free, how to clear old emotional traumas, and how to effectively treat chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. So it's a really good book, and it's brain fog friendly. There are little summaries at the beginning of each chapter. So if your brain is too, I can't remember the end of the page, it'll do the short bites that you can just scan through and get the key things you need. My email address, and write this down: fatigue doc, FATIGUE DOC at gmail.com. You can email me and ask for the free fatigue, fibromyalgia, long COVID information sheets. You can ask if you have mast cell activation syndrome, basically sensitive to everything. You can say I'm sensitive to everything. If you have nerve pain, note that. You can note the 5 or 6 key things you have. If you have POTS, you stand up, you get lightheaded, you get brain fogged after 40 minutes. You can just let me know those key things. Chronic pain, note that, and I'll send you the information sheets for those, because those are made to be okay, easy. Here's what you do: you follow the breadcrumb trail, and it'll help you recover.
Awesome. Awesome. Doc, this has been fantastic, right? We're helping people with the big energy crisis in our society, and we're hoping the Maha movement's going to help people understand that they do have a health issue with our food supply, and that our food supply will get better, and that people can start getting healthy naturally, and using all these protocols. And the shine method, I think, is fantastic. So let's
Thank you.
shine and smile while we're shining, and do it while we're on a nice walk in the sun. Does that sound like a good plan?
Indeed.
All right. God bless you. What a pleasure to meet you, Doc. I really appreciate you taking the time and providing such value to people, because all this is information that literally is free to you, and information that can help you.
Yeah.
And just if you know somebody who has chronic pain or fatigue or energy, we have lots of resources for you. And the doc has given his email, which is an amazing email. I love that one. It's fatiguedoc@gmail.com. And then go get his book and share his book, and then just help people get well naturally and faithfully, as we talk about here on the I Am Pain Free podcast. So with that, signing off. Thanks, Doc. God bless.
Aloha, everybody. Be well.
As many of you know, my focus at the I Am Pain Free podcast is help as many people get pain free as possible. And we strive to use all natural and alternative therapies to accomplish that goal. Well, today I'm thrilled to introduce to you a revolutionary product that aligns perfectly with our mission of natural health and well-being. It's called Exodus by Exodus Strong. At Exodus Strong, their mission is to help you break free from the grip of big pharma and embrace natural solutions that promote vibrant health. With a foundation rooted in the wisdom of the Bible, the all-natural supplement harnesses the power of 7 key ingredients specifically mentioned in the scriptures. The flagship product Exodus is designed to be transformational, providing benefits such as energy enhancement, stress relief, blood sugar stabilization, pain relief, and anti-inflammation. So join the movement, right, to help them get 1 million new people to read the Bible every day and transform their health naturally. When you purchase Exodus, use code IAPF at checkout to receive a special free gift with your order. It's time to exit the old you and step into a new chapter of vitality and well-being. To get there, you go to exodusstrong.com. So it's Exodus, EXODUSSTRONG.com. And check out and use that IAPF for the I Am Pain-Free podcast. And then you'll experience the benefits of the Exodus mineral blend. This mineral blend is amazing. It's got the molecular hydrogen generating formula that's backed by hundreds of scientific studies. So begin your journey feeling great and looking great. Don't miss the opportunity to take control of your health with the all natural way. So go check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it.